Welcome to another edition of State Champs Hockey Time. I'm Jonathon Kidd along with Sean Baligian. We are on the road.
Yeah, great event here out in Livonia. The KLAA-MIHL Adam Mitchell Showcase. It's been going on for a few years. Just a great day for hockey, not only here in Livonia, but all over the state. John, you and I are incredibly biased. I think high school hockey is at an all-time high right now, and I think we saw that in play today at both these rinks at Eddie Edgar Arena.
State Champs Hockey Time is presented by our friends at the Alto Equipment Company. This past weekend was Hockey Day in Michigan.
Yeah, listen, we're biased. I think it's the greatest game on earth. No disrespect to other sports. I love other sports. I think this is the best game on earth, and we got a chance to celebrate it here today in Livonia.
And 50 years of high school hockey in the MHSA. Just talk about that. You know, I was just thinking about it. I've been covering high school hockey for over 20 years of that 50.
It's incredible. No, you're right. And to me, John, where the game has gone at this level, you can't put a price tag on it. You know, the guys that are moving on and the packed crowds, and, you know, arena is full of people. Like this arena has been full of people, you know, since early this morning. I mean, it's a wonderful thing, and every year it just keeps getting better, and that is due to the hard work of so many people out there, especially our friends with the Coaches Association. You know, the hours that they put in. But, you know, I love these celebration of hockey. I love these showcases. I say it all the time. I wish there could be a showcase every week.
Let's recap the games from the MIHL KLAA Showcase, and let's start with the first game. Canton took on Gibraltar Carlson. Canton came back and won 3-2.
Yeah, nice comeback. And, you know, I had a chance to talk to Justin after the game. You know, it's nice to see Canton starting to progress. You know, they got a schedule upcoming that, you know, they have to feel good about the way they've been playing, mixing in some wins and everything. It was great that Gibraltar Carlson came out here as well. But for Canton, nice comeback in that one. They finished going away in that one.
And how about the ending to the Port Huron Northern Plymouth game? Plymouth was up 3-1, and then the Huskies scored 3 unanswered late to win 4-3.
You have to give them credit. They just kept fighting. They heck of a top line. They kept their top line out there, specifically the last couple minutes, and they found a way to grind it out. You know, and Johnny, you have to remember they not only tied the game, but they got that one. You know, the clincher very late in that game. But I like the direction that Plymouth is going. I do. I like the direction that they're going. Give them time. I think Dallas and AJ, you know, everybody, you know, this is going to be a work in progress, as we know, but that's a big win for the Huskies and a wonderful comeback as well.
So the first win for the KLAA belonged to the Livonia Red Stallions, a 5-2 victory over Grosse Pointe South.
Yeah, you know what? That looks really good, and it's got to be great in their home rink to find a way to get it done. That young goaltender, Quinn Pasco, it was one of the stars of the game. Give him full credit. You know, he was very busy in the game, and hey, that's a good win for Jason Reynolds and his staff. And again, I think, John, to do it here in this arena is pretty darn cool.
And then next up we had Cranbrook taking on Novi, and Cranbrook came out with a 3-0 shutout.
That was my first opportunity to see Cranbrook. You know, I had a chance to talk to Coach LaFontaine a little bit before the game. They're a work in progress. I like some parts with their team. Obviously, we've talked about their goaltending. I thought there were some good young players that one on defense, Conti. I think you take a look at some of these guys and what they are now, and forget about their senior year. What they are now, what they're going to be at the end of the year is going to be very intriguing to me. So I'm going to say again, I think the Cranes are going to be a team to watch.
And how about the weekend for D Jesuit? On Friday night, they beat their rivals, Brother Rice, 6-3. They come back the next day. They were down 2-1 to Salem, score 7 unanswered goals to win 8-2.
I remember about a month ago when we were talking the first time this year, we talked about the promise of U of D. And you know what? They're starting to live up to that promise. And they turned what was a tight game. Salem played them tough for a bit. They turned it into a big win. That is a good team. They have, you know, both defensive defensively and offensively. Many guys whose names I think we're going to start talking about in regards to some of the various lists that we have. But I think the secret's out with the Cubbies, John. I really do. That's a very good team. Heck, I had them in the top 10 as it is. We might have to raise them up a little bit.
And shout out to Carter K. He had that great Flow nomination for his teammates, and he was good on camera.
Yeah, that's the key. You know, when you get these guys, it's embarrassing to me. They're better at talking on camera than I am. So, no, it's awesome that people are getting to be a part of that.
Another win for the MIHL here at the showcase was De La Salle. 3-0 win over Northville.
Yeah, it's nice to catch up with my old friend, Coach LaRose, and I think he's going to work wonders with the Pilots. They played very, very well against a good Northville team. Northville's another one of those teams. I think you're going to see them going like that. They're fighting the injury bug a little bit, but take nothing away from the Pilots. They did what they had to do. That's going to be a fun team to watch to see how they progress during the course of the season.
And an exciting game between Howell and Orchard Lake St. Mary's, and this game went into a shootout. The battle of the walls in this one, but Orchard Lake St. Mary's comes out with a victory.
Yeah, I like both those teams a lot. I think Coach Klanow has a group that can take a long, long run. So many good pieces with that team. I'll say it again for Howell. This is now my third time seeing them. They're not going to sneak up on anybody. This is a really, really good Howell team, and that was one of those games. It's unfortunate somebody had to lose that game, but Orchard Lake St. Mary's just a little bit better here tonight.
And then another shootout game. It was between Trenton and Livonia Stevenson. Trenton was down 3-1 in the third period. They tied it up late, and then they won in the shootout. Noah Miklos with the big save to close it out.
A heck of a game it really was. Trenton, I know that we talked about them early. I have them right around the top 10. I think they are definitely a top 10 team. Noah, boy, I'll tell you what, when that kid's asked, he steps up. We've seen him do this the last couple of years. He steps up and elevates his play. A lot to like about Trenton. I think there's a lot to like about Stevenson. Everybody talks about their youth, but I'll tell you what, that's a team that you're going to take a game like this and use it for fuel. And the next time, maybe this game isn't the L and it turns into a W, but a very entertaining game. But the Trojans find a way.
Just want to do a quick shout out to Trenton. Their backup goalie, Evan Civi's, off to a great start as well. It's good to have two goaltenders that can step up at any time.
Listen, let's be honest. They're two goaltenders that both deserve mentions in regards to the Wall Award. So that's a good circumstance to be in, and certainly for Chad and his entire staff, this is a team that is a good circumstance to be coaching.
All right, let's just keep it going with our recap of the MIHL KLA Showcase. And how about Hartland? A 3-1 victory over Brother Rice.
I like this Hartland team a lot. And I told Coach Gadwa after the game, I said, this is a typical Hartland team. And he smiled and he goes, that's cool. So we got a style. And I said, yeah, you know what the style is for Hartland hockey? Do you want me to define it for you? Winning games. I mean, first and foremost, you have to start there. John, they move the puck so well. I think that's a traditional Hartland trait, and I think this team has that. And they have an edge. And there's a difference between having an edge and being a bonehead and having an edge and playing hard. And that's why I say this is a typical Hartland team. And I mean, what else would you expect out in Livingston County? He's done such a good job building Hartland. Props again to Coach Gadwin and his squad.
And lastly, it was Detroit Catholic Central taking on Brighton. It's been the rematch of the last two Division I state championship games. Brighton was dealing with some injuries, but it was too much CC, 7-1.
Yeah, I don't want to take anything away from Brighton because, as you mentioned, they had a couple big guys out. But I'm going to say something, and I know my buddy Cal's probably going to be mad at me for saying it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think Catholic Central might be better than they were last year, and that's a big statement. And I think depth-wise, this is, here's that word again.
The D word.
I'm telling you, they are so deep, they just keep coming at you, and anybody off of some of those lines can hurt you. Now again, with Catholic Central, and I've said this before, you are measured by what you do at the end of the year. So all the noise that they're making right now, you know as well as I do, it matters. How does it end in Division I? But what I've seen out of Catholic Central so far, John, they're as deep as I ever remember. Some of the question marks about goaltending, I think they've been answered as the season has gone on. And my goodness gracious, any one of those lines can hurt you. I mean, that really is something. Brighton's going to be fine. Trust me when I say that. Brighton, I think they're deeper than they've been. The depth got tested a little bit tonight, obviously, with some of the injury, but they're going to be fine. But, hey, listen. Catholic Central's #1 in most people's rankings for a reason. They're #1 in my rankings for a reason, and they showed it here tonight.
All right, let's talk quickly about the other showcase that was happening this past weekend, the Division III showcase out in Gaylord. How about the Bay City Wolves?
Hey, you know what? Bay City, as far as I'm concerned, has gone from, oh, isn't their Twitter game cute, to, oh, isn't that a darn good team? When you knock off a team the caliber of the Bay Reps, that is a huge statement. Gunnar Weber is a guy that he's been on some people's radar. He's on a lot of people's radar now. Radar. Trust me, he's definitely on our radar, and some people that reached out to us as well. So Bay Reps will be fine. There's no doubt about that. More on that in a second. But hey, you know what? Friday, it was all about the Bay City Wolves pulling a huge win. I don't want to call it an upset because I think that takes away from the caliber of the job that they've done up there. That's just a big, big win for the Wolves.
And how about Grand Rapids Catholic Central and Flint Powers? You know, they took out Gabriel Richard on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, you know what? I think GRCC, I had them right around the top 10. Obviously, one heck of a goaltender. More on that coming up. But this is a team that I think is in that top 10 territory. It's okay. You're going to lose a game now and again. Bay Reps obviously bounced back and found a way. I've been a fan of Travis Perry since forever. I think he's done such a fantastic job. And, so many people talked about at Flint Powers, all the guys that left. And I think what they did is they forgot that Travis Perry is a guy that brings those guys in and coaches those guys up. So certainly I think Flint Powers is going to be fine too.
And we're going to give out a couple shout-outs here on Hockey Time. And how about Traverse City West? They beat their rivals, Traverse City Central, 2-1. Brandon Myers with the game winner.
There's some good hockey being played up there. Don't forget about TC West, man. I mean, anytime you can beat TCC, that's a good thing. So congratulations to them.
And shout out to Grosse Pointe North. I was out there for the game between Grosse Pointe North and Woodhaven on Thursday. They got their first victory on the season.
Hey, you know what? Good battle, John. You were texting us throughout the night, letting us know what's going on. Congratulations to the Norsemen.
All right, it's time now for our Warrior Hockey Player of the Year update. So, Sean, after this weekend, we decided no changes.
Yeah, no changes. I think there was some debate. And then, you know what? Quite frankly, John, to me, you have to earn your way on that list. And at the same time, somebody has to lose the privilege of being on that list. And I didn't see anybody do that over the weekend. We were having some discussions even a couple days ago, but the way some of the guys on our list stepped up, it's going to be hard to pop your name in there. It's going to happen. It happens every year, but you're absolutely right. No changes this week. We feel pretty good about this list, and some of the guys on this list had magnificent weeks.
And the voting is underway now on our website at statechampsnetwork.com. The leading vote getter never gets removed from the top 10, and that was our Warrior Hockey Player of the Year update. So we have the State Champs Flow Challenge going on our social media pages. Lots of nominations. Even we got a few from the MIHL KLA Showcase. So we're going to show you right now.
All right, boys, I'm here with Canton Hockey. We got 2 nominations for the Flow Challenge. P. Desi.
Yeah.
No. Let's see that. Let's see that. Oh, yeah. And we got C. Jizzle over here. Shake it. Oh, yeah. 2 of the best flows in the state right here, boys. Nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Big win.
Hey, let's go, boys. Yeah!
What's up, State Champs? I'm with Hartland Hockey, and I am nominating Braylon B-Rod for Flow nominee.
Yeah. So,
We're the Cranberry Cranes. This is the Flow Challenge. We nominate Coach Marty.
Yeah!
And then we nominate senior defenseman Thomas Kimmel.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Dylan Blackwood from Yale Sound. We'd like to nominate Lucas Beals, our true freshman, for the best flow in the state of Michigan. Take it, Robbie.
I'm Logan Robbins from D Salle, and I'd like to nominate Anthony Winkler for Best Flow in Michigan.
I'm here with Port Huron Northern, Bryson Smith, and I'm nominating my boy for the best flow in Michigan, Rylan Chauvin.
Let's go, baby! Let's go, baby!
I'm Chase Adams with Livonia, the Red Stallions, and I nominate Dougie Prater and Landon Murray. Look at that bullet! Look at that bullet! Look at that bullet!
What's up, state champs? It's your brother Carlson. We got 2 nominees for the flow competition. First up, we got my boy Lil Man Jay, Brody Kohanik. Shake that thing, boy. Yeah! All right, next up, we got my boy Jay Markey. Shake that thing, boy. Buddy's got season 2 gliders on his head. He's OG. He's OG. And I got one more thing to say. Shout out Jonathon Kidd, baby.
Some beautiful mains on these teams.
I love to see it. You know, let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. That's the way it should be. So thanks to everybody for getting involved in that and being a part of this.
And we're working on a sponsor for this, so you can contact John Watson at State Champs if you really want to sponsor the Flow Challenge. And we're going to work on like a bracket, maybe get like a 32 or a 64 team bracket. I think we can get this done.
I think that'd be fun. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. But no, I mean, just to see the guys having fun with it and, you know, hamming up in the locker room and everything, it's all worth it. All right, welcome to Eddie Edgar Ice Arena here in Livonia. It's our Coach's Corner. We are kindly joined by the head coach at Livonia, Stevenson, and really the guy that, with the help of a lot of other people, makes this great event happen every year. Coach David Mitchell kindly joining us. And Mitch, another successful MIHL KLAA showcase, but I know, and we do the same thing when we're out in Trenton, this isn't possible without the help of so many people out here.
100%. Our community comes together. You met Jim Gibbons steps up, Chessa Turcotte, and then so many of our parents and so many of the officials, the rink people, everybody that you don't see on a daily basis, everything that they do absolutely steps up and does a phenomenal job. We couldn't do it without them. We can't thank them enough. Our AD, Arnie Muscat, did so much for this, and then yourself and state champs, and then the media and everybody that comes make this what it is. And then, look, the coaches, the players, the families, anytime you have an event like this, there are so many people that come into it to make a difference. We could not thank them enough.
You know, it's cheesy. You know, today the MIHL comes away as winners and singular teams came away as winners. But to me, as cheesy as it sounds, I think the game of hockey and the game of hockey inside high school is the winner when you have an event like this. The smiles. I'm one of those guys, Mitch, at my advanced age. I love to watch people's reaction. People coming out of the rinks today, you just saw a bunch of smiles today.
Sure, and not only this, it's high school hockey day around the state, right? And the D3 event and games on the west side of the state and in the UP, with Ossenmacher, the Coaches Association president, and the board there, and Don Wright, and what those guys do around the whole state to put on events like this. And again, the coaches, the families, and at the root, the players, that make a decision to play high school hockey, that bring their best to represent their school, and the administration and the ADs. Again, you know this, there's different levels of hockey these kids can play at, and when they choose to play high school, they bring in a whole nother entity of people and so many teams that weren't here, you know, the good people around the state. And so it's a pleasure to be part of something really larger than yourself and watch the state of hockey in Michigan grow.
You know, I'm glad you brought up something because, you know, you and I have been doing this for a while now, you longer than I. But when you look at where it was 10 years ago, when we were sitting in my room at my house doing the high school hockey report. But I mean, when you look at where the coverage has gone, when you look at the caliber of player that is now making the choice that you just said, you know, hey, I could go play here, I could go play there. I want to stay at home. I want to play in front of my fellow students. I want to play in front of my neighbors, whatever the case may be. That's one thing that I cite, and I tell people all the time. The caliber of player playing at this level now, Mitch, it's incredible to me where it's gone in the last 10 years.
It is, and look, it's a shameless plug for high school hockey, right? But the development that occurs in high school hockey, I just think it's really truly the development model that even like USA Hockey and Minnesota and all these people want to chase. It's where you have practices during the week and you play a couple games a week, and the kids really have to buy into a much more of a development mindset. And so when they come into high school hockey, I think they see it's not as easy as they expect, and I think they see it's a grind, and I think they see the intense, I don't know, jubilation to be able to play an event like this and to be able to play in front of people like this. That's a little pressure on these guys, and they enjoy it, they thrive under it, and it's an unbelievable experience that, like, I don't know, I've coached at different levels, but changing trajectories, I think, is what we're all about, and what you helped do in state champs and John Kidd and everybody there. Man, we change a lot of trajectories, I think, in high school hockey with everything you guys do and all these coaches and families. I think we change a lot of trajectories.
David Mitchell, the head coach at Livonia Stevenson, kindly joining us. Here I mentioned the KLAA-MIHL showcase, but a few years ago, after the untimely passing of your father, I think it was a unanimous decision by everybody involved to rename it the Adam Mitchell KLAA-MIHL Showcase. And to me, that's one of the good things about doing an event like this. It keeps a man that we both loved and respected, his name out there, and it reminds people how much he did for this game. And not just here in Livonia, Dave. Anybody that knows your father, it was so much more than that. But to see you out here, to see your brother Paul out here, to see your sister, to see your mom, I think it's awesome to continue a legacy that was started by your father many, many years ago.
Thank you, for first and foremost, for the kind words. He was a giant of a man, as you know, and would walk around this room or run around this rink from rink to rink, and it's amazing that so many people are involved in doing what he really did by himself a lot, and so, but now it's time, as you know, and you said you're getting older, for the next generation of Adam Mitchells, and whether it's Gibbons and all these other coaches now, and we're watching some of these young and upcoming teams and upcoming coaches, and so these people are coming in and doing the same thing, and that's really what this is all about. And that's what my father was all about, servant leadership and to serve. And when you put on an event like this, it really is about serving not just our community, but the high school hockey community, which in turn is the high school community, which in turn is all these great schools and these great families that are committed to doing something they do, because it's a grind, and it's a lifestyle for most of these kids and families. And so we're thrilled. I'm thrilled that my father's legacy will live on through this event, and we couldn't be more prouder to put it on here.
One last thing before we let you go. A heck of a game between Livonia Stevenson and Trenton. Trenton wins via the shootout 4-3. But I want to talk about your team a little bit. The word that comes up about your team all the time, and all one has to do is look at the roster, and they can see for themselves, is young. But to me, Dave, young is something you talk about a week or two into the season. You're a month into the season now.
We're still young.
You're still
our
young.
Age didn't change.
But no, listen to me. The experience now. The experience that they're getting, you can't put a price tag on it. No, I like the trajectory of your team right now, man. I really do.
We'll see Monday.
Here we go.
But sure, look, I am really proud of this group. I'm really proud of our kids, really proud of our families. They have allowed me to kind of like reinvent myself and evolve myself. And you know this, the last 3.5 years, if I got to go back there since my dad passing and then COVID hit and everything everybody's been through, like now I went back to, and you know, I took a step back a little bit from the board and a step back from a little bit from doing some of the things that I used to do and put all my time and energy into this group. And they've responded and they've allowed me to push them. I pushed them quite a bit today, and there's some, you know, they are progressing, and they are everything that you want about the game to be in high school hockey. To say, like, are you better today than you were yesterday? Are you better a week from now? And I don't know where we'll be next week, but it's a huge compliment when coming from you and coming from people that they can like tangibly see our growth. That's awesome, right? That's awesome, and it's a testament to our kids and our really hardworking staff. You know, I got a young staff as well, and like we're kind of teaching them, and because you know, like, it's a great event, but like I got Robertson at Howell and Thompson at Northville, and Sagada's on the west side with Salle, and some of my coaches have all like gone on to different things, which is awesome. And so, because they were so good with us, and now they're spreading their wings and they're, you know, going on and helping the trajectory of high school hockey. So, but it's a testament to what we're doing and our culture. But you know this, we got to keep doing it on a daily basis and just keep going north and progressing and getting better.
The head coach at Livonia, Stevenson, David Mitchell, he won't say it, I'll say it. Keep an eye on these guys. They are moving in the right direction. There's no doubt about that. It's all about love, and I appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you to yourself. John Kidd right there, the man that makes everything happen. Everybody at State Champs, everybody that does, like, we could not do it. It's amazing, so thank you, everyone.
David Mitchell in our Coach's Corner here on the State Champs Network.
And it's time now for our Warrior Hockey Wall Award update. So, Sean, we do have a change.
Yeah, you know what? This is a guy that, if you remember, he was on our watch list last year, and he's been knocking on the door so far this year. But Trent Goheen from GRCC, you can't deny the numbers. I mean, you know, and anybody who's watched him play, I had a couple coaches call me up and say, keep an eye on this guy. And again, when opposing coaches are saying that, that tells you all you need to know. But all one has to do is go to the hub, MIHS Hockey Hub, and you can see the numbers. He's got outstanding numbers. We can't keep that kid off the list. So congratulations for being on the list. And John, what we tell people all the time is we want you to get involved in this. We want you to vote for your guy. I mean, heck, Owen Hall's girlfriend was even over there voting for him earlier, you know, and she was like, what? I didn't know I could vote. So she didn't go vote for anybody else. She voted for Owen, but you can be a part of that as well. And John, the one thing that we always talk about is, listen, if you're the leading vote getter, you don't come off the list, and that's pretty cool.
You can cast your vote at statechampsnetwork.com, and that was our Warrior Hockey Wall Award update. Let's preview the week ahead in high school hockey, and let's talk about the game on Thursday night, downriver, Trenton versus Riverview Gabriel. We all know what happened last year. Gabriel won 5-1. Trenton's wanting revenge.
Yeah, and you know, we found out where the peanut butter was as well, if I'm not mistaken. No, great battle, no doubt about that. We had such a blast down there. As I remember, we did that game. I know it's going to be packed. I mean, two really good programs, two really great guys leading their programs. That should be a dandy.
I'm just letting you know right now, I'll be there.
Outstanding. You better be.
It's not a far drive.
It's like 10 feet away, right? Drive.
Yeah.
Guy walks out his back door, and there he is at the arena.
Yes. The beauty of me picking out the games on State Champs Hockey Time. Another great one is Orchard Lake St. Mary's taking on Hartland on Thursday.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, two teams that I think showed why they are in the conversation in regards to being the best teams in the state. We saw it here today. I'm sure we'll see it that night as well.
On Saturday, we have a bunch of great games. Let's start off with Brighton against Hartland.
Two of the behemoths, not only in Livingston County, but certainly all over the state. always can't miss when those two get together.
We stay in the KLAA. It's the battle at the park. Salem taking on Plymouth.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You know, Plymouth is kind of going up like this. I think Salem's better than they played. I'm going to go out and say that. I have no problem saying that. You know, what better way to get things going than to knock off one of your big rivals?
All right, we have Clarkston taking on Warren De La Salle on Saturday.
Ooh, that's going to be a test for De La Salle. You know, Clarkston, again, they are playing anybody, anywhere, having a heck of a lot of success. That's going to be a good test for this pilot team that's kind of in that up-and-comer mode.
We head on over to the west side for the game between Byron Center and Grand Rapids Catholic Central on Saturday.
Is that awesome? You know, in my mind, 2 top 10 teams. Byron Center could make the argument that they're in the top 3. I think GRCC would like to say that as well. John, I wish I could clone myself and get out to that game.
That's 6 now on the clone meter. And Forest Hill Central is taking on the Bay City Wolves.
That's awesome. That's a really good matchup. You know, we've talked about FHC. I like what they have in net. That's a name to watch. I like their blue line. I like some of the parts up front. And the Wolves. I mean, everybody's talking about the Wolves and what transpired last weekend, or this weekend as it were, up in Gaylord. So, yeah, that's going to be a fun one to watch.
And we're going to talk about Trenton again. They're taking on D Jesuit. It's the rematch of last year's Division II quarterfinal, which D won it in overtime.
Absolutely huge. You know, as I said, I think the secret's out on both of them, right around that top 10 group. And listen, anytime you get teams of that caliber together, that's a beautiful thing, and that should definitely be one of those beautiful things. Days like this are fun, and you know, we always end the show with a certain line, and it was great to see so many people out here today, no doubt about it.
And shout out to Robbie.
Yeah, Robbie's the best. And I like his tats, too. He's got his arm. I see him on the bicep and everything. No, Robbie, appreciate you coming out, man. And appreciate all of you guys for sure. Johnny, and we'll see you at the rink.
State Champs Hockey Time is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Be curious, make magic. The future of education begins at ltu.edu. State Champs Hockey Time is also presented by Alta Equipment, Michigan's #1 construction equipment provider, proudly representing the industry's top brands. Get the right equipment for your project every time with Alta Equipment. Warrior Hockey is proud to support Michigan High School Hockey Player and Goalie of the Year awards. Warrior Hockey is made for this. The Michigan High School Hockey Coaches Association, celebrating the 50th anniversary of high school hockey in Michigan. For schedule, scores, and standings, go to the hub, MIHSHockeyHub.com. The Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. And Michigan Army National Guard, proud sponsor of the Michigan High School Athletic Association.